Hey guys, I'm back from my hiatus to recap A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. A very serious business story of love, mythological creatures, and absolutely no agency whatsoever. The play opens with a love plot that brings back some seriously harrowing flashbacks of my high school days. Basically, Hermia and Lysander are a thing, but Hermia's dad, Aegeus, is so not having it because he would rather Hermia get with Demetrius, who's totally on board because he and Aegeus are bros and just can't accept the fact that Hermia wants to do her own thing. To make matters more complicated, Hermia's friend Helena has level 6 hots for Demetrius, but he won't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Because no parties will cooperate with him, Aegeus asks Duke Theseus to help him out, which I'm not sure is in his job description, but whatever. In all his wisdom, Theseus tells Hermia that she can either marry Demetrius, become a nun, or be executed. Despite how reasonable that decree is, no one goes along with it, which is good because otherwise it would be a really short play. Hermia and Lysander decide to elope, Demetrius follows them into the woods, and Helena follows Demetrius. Because if I've learned anything with these recaps, it's that in Shakespeare land, stalking is a perfectly acceptable way to deal with your dating issues. As it so happens, the forest through which our young lovers are now traveling is conveniently the place where everyone else in the world goes to get their stuff done. First of all, we got Oberon, the king of the fairies, who is having a fight with his wife Titania over who gets to keep the little Indian boy Page, because they're both irrational children who are incapable of dealing with their problems in ways that don't involve circuitous bickering and pranks that really aren't all that funny when you think too hard about them. Oberon decides to send his sidekick Puck out to get some love potions so that he can make Titania fall in love with someone really ugly for the LOLs, so that later, in her immense embarrassment, she will give in to his demands. While he is congratulating himself on this solid plan, Oberon notices Helena and Demetrius having a fight because neither one of them can take a hint, and instead of being like, you know, these people should really get their heads out of their own behinds and get over themselves, Oberon's like, hey, I'm the king of the fairies, and I got this love potion, so I'ma make those suckers fall in love. Compatibility and agency be damned. Should be a good time. Puck goes to take care of this and somehow goofs and manages to put the potion on Lysander, who then falls in love with Helena. And then, in an attempt to rectify his error, puts the potion on Demetrius, but doesn't take care of the Lysander issue, so then they're both in love with Helena, who at this point is thinking that everyone's playing a super mean trick on her and gets a major case of the sads. Ha ha ha, Shakespearean schadenfreude. Before hijinks can get too wacky, Puck manages to set things right, and our young lovers sort out everything with Aegeus and Theseus, and then everyone gets married all at once, including Theseus and Hippolyta, because venues are expensive and the priest probably wanted to go on holiday. Moving on, in case you needed a comedic break because you weren't laughing hard enough already, we are introduced to a ragtag group of tradesmen bros who all pale in the shining golden light of the reigning Duke of Blowhard's Nick Bottom. They meet in the woods to rehearse a play called Pyramus and Thisbe, which is actually basically Romeo and Juliet. So if you could take this moment to imagine your deli guy, plumber, Orkin man, and local Time Warner Cable representative all getting together to put on Romeo and Juliet, you can probably see why a few members of the group are a little bit apprehensive about the quality of their theatrical endeavor. During one of their rehearsals, Puck comes in and replaces Bottom's head with that of an ass, thus giving him essentially two bottoms, and then chases him through the woods so that he will wake up our love potion-addled fairy queen Titania, and we can all laugh away into the night because she's hot and he won't stop making hee-haw noises. Oberon eventually releases Titania from the spell, and rather than be like, wow honey, you're kind of a prick, she forgives him and gives him the little Indian boy. So his blackmail plan worked. Bottom is returned to his single bottom form just in time to perform the play with all his bros at the wedding of all the people. And as expected, it is a glorious hot mess. Alright guys, that's it for this week's recap. I should be able to keep up with my weekly schedule and plan on continuing with the Shakespeare recaps as I wait for some fall TV shows to start. If you like my videos and don't want to miss out because you suffer from crippling FOMO, please subscribe. I don't want you to hurt yourself. I'm a giver like that. And until next time, if you're ever having a bad day, just imagine your deli guy, plumber, organ man, and local Time Warner cable representative performing Shakespeare for you, and I guarantee that unless you don't have a soul wrapped around that icy cold heart of yours, you will feel much better.